Hello and welcome to another episode of Novice Chess. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into game here. Let's headhunt and go for the top guy. So we have VTguy34 and looks like we're going to start off with an English here. Let's stay flexible. Are we going to go English? Are we going to go some type of King's Indian or something? I don't know. Nah, it looks like we're going English. My opponent can... oh, okay. Wasn't expecting that. I was going to say my opponent can play d4 here. He can actually still play d4. So, trying to figure out what I want to do exactly. So let's keep things flexible with knight c6. Not sure where I want my pawns to go quite yet. Okay, this should be fine. My opponent needs to be careful here. I'm interested in these ideas. Okay, so he really wants to play this. I think castling is the most appropriate, or do I want to harass with my bishop first? I'm not entirely sure. Let's see if I can make my opponent waste some time here. Yes, okay. I think castling is probably best. I have ideas of rook b8 to try and get out of this diagonal. I have ideas of queen c8 attempting this. Okay, yeah, I think queen c8 is the most appropriate now. He can move his rook, after which I'll probably move my rook to d8. But I'm definitely gonna throw this in first. This is interesting. Is this a threat? Eh. I don't know. I'm worried about this square. Not entirely sure what to do here. Perhaps this idea to attempt to fight for it. Actually, I think I like that idea. What are my other options? Not sure that I have any. So okay, let's fight for this square here. Oh no. Okay, this isn't what I was worried about. I was worried about something like sinking a knight in. Okay, maybe that didn't work. I was seeing ghosts where this stopped defending this and then there was some type of check. Okay, so I'm just gonna get my rook out of this diagonal here. And maybe I should have developed my knight to c7 first, since this is what I was preparing. Yeah, that probably would have been the best thing to do. Okay. Yeah, that's actually not a bad move. Yeah. Can't I do this though? I feel as though I can. No, that looks dumb. So takes. But actually, the reason I like this move is because well, one, I am threatening this piece, but more importantly, I was gonna say I can attack this, but it's just a one move threat. What happens if I go? Yeah, I'm still not entirely sure what I want to do here. Attack the knight again. This position is somewhat weird. Really? He wants a draw here, or? Oof, this is dangerous. Okay, I think I need to do something that doesn't get my bishop trapped. Not entirely sure what that is. Yeah, my bishop just gets trapped soon, so I have to make some sort of concession here. The good news is I have a slightly clearer plan. So I just want to play f5 now. And he pretty much has to take. The question is, what am I going to take back with? Probably... Really? I was not expecting that. Okay, well, I'll just take this pawn for free then. And now I believe I'm in really decent shape. Okay, I'll take 2 pawns for free. And now my opponent is in big trouble. After this. This is going to be game over. Yeah. Yep, this is game over. Oh, okay, we're still doing this, huh? I think this is probably the quickest way. With only rook block being the option, right? So we're gonna go ahead and look at this game. I'm not entirely sure what was going on. Good game, definitely good game. So I want to analyze before we play another game, but so what happened here? This was really weird. Admittedly, I'm not too familiar with playing the black side of the English, but you know, I had some general ideas that didn't go so well. I wanted to trade the bishop, but the knight was defending. So, like, why didn't I just do this? Like, why am I making things complicated? Knight moves, trade the bishop off. It's clear. I guess, I don't know, maybe something psychologically wanted to keep this pin going. Made no sense. Okay. Try and nullify this knight here. Now I can't trade the bishop off because this knight got here, so he wanted a perpetual. I decided to play on. I mean, if I had to guess, I'd say we're still about equal here after all these weird moves. But if you want to reinforce, or if you don't want to take, I think the best move would be to play f3. With the point being, if you play f3 and I take, you take, now you have a piece that's contesting the open file. What my opponent did was sacrifice 2 pawns for, I don't want to just say for free, it was 2 pawns with tempo. So the second pawn was with a tempo, so it's really strange. And then after I check, after I capture his bishop, I think this is just a mate in however many moves. Because if he doesn't defend, then I mate here. Yeah, this is, and you saw the line, which was just pretty forcing. So let's go ahead and look at a computer analysis as well. I really think we were around equal, maybe with, yeah, it's hard to even say either side had an advantage because, maybe black slight advantage. Maybe I had a little bit more space, but I believe when we were fighting over d5, white probably had an advantage, slight advantage, but around equal. Okay, let's check this out here. This is all fine and dandy according to the computer. Okay, so we're actually still about equal here, and we could have. So I'm the one who made a concession here. I made a positional concession according to the computer. The best move was knight e5 instead. I'm not really sure what that does. Ah, interesting. Interesting. Why didn't I see this idea? So this pretty much forces e4, yeah. Yeah, and we're still about equal here. This is cool. This is cool. It's interesting to see how equal positions can change, but they're still equal. Like, you see the compensation change for each side. At any rate, so I made a positional concession here, and now we're about equal. Okay, so now I have a very slight edge, but still equal. But after allowing me to take, it starts getting pretty clear. And after this, checkmate is unavoidable. Wow. Take, and I found the line as well. This is pretty nice. This is pretty nice. And the only move left is for white to block with the rook. And after that, checkmate. All right. So, yeah, I really don't have much to say about white's position, other than he shouldn't have sacrificed his pawn. When you're looking for opportunities to expand, like in this position, How did I know about f5? Because, well, this is a piece that should be attacked, and I don't really have any pawn breaks. So right now, I don't want to take this knight because, you know, pawn takes forks me. Well, actually, no, it doesn't. So after this position, I don't have space. I'm getting cramped. And now I'm really never playing f4. Sorry, f5. So I'm playing f5 now because I'd like to gain space as well as potentially open lines for this rook. Like I said, if white was really adamant about not capturing, although I think capturing is fine. What does the computer say? G takes f5. Yeah, capturing is fine here. The idea with capture is, now I can either capture with my own bishop, or I can capture with the pawn with the idea of moving my king and then trying to get a rook battery here. These types of ideas. But the point is, this takes time. Like moving the king, moving the rook over, all that takes time. But me taking a pawn, getting a semi-open file, that's allowing me to do what I want to do anyway, which is gain more freedom for my pieces as well as develop an attack. And white is getting no counterplay. And this pawn just kind of seals the deal here. Yeah. So try not to sacrifice pawns needlessly, and always watch for positional breaks like f5 and try to counter them. Also, if you see this type of situation where there are tension between the pawns and you choose not to take, you also have to take into consideration what happens when your opponent does take. So I'm gaining a semi-open file for my rook. I'm gaining a pawn, and white is getting no compensation. Much better would have been either to take or at least to play f3 with the idea of recapturing with the f-pawn and giving yourself some counterplay. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Novice Chess, and I will catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.